Bloody indeed, because an airline passenger recently made headlines after she popped a bloody blister on her foot, which on the plane splattered everywhere, including on 2 other passengers. South Florida talk show host Andy Slater was on the flight to Miami, and he took this video on his phone following this incident. Check it out.
We need the 3 of you to speak to the paramedics because of the blood, okay?
Sure.
I'm very sorry to put
And so
you...
as you're watching this, the video is showing a flight attendant asking the blister-popping woman and 2 men who were splattered with blood to meet with fire department paramedics. The blister reportedly sprayed blood on 2 passengers, a book, the plane's walls, windows, and seats.
What was this?
Look at this. This is crazy. Wow.
And, I mean, the crazy thing is, it's one thing to take your shoes off. It's another to take your shoes off and start popping bloody blisters.
Yeah.
I mean, so this was an intentional pop.
She was apparently squeezing it out, and it spattered everywhere. And you know, blood is infectious, right?
Yes,
HIV,
it is.
hepatitis, bacterial infections. I mean, this isn't just a gross inconvenience.
I've had someone spill red wine on me on a flight before, and I was happy because I was just like, oh yes, thank you.
Yeah, I would certainly hope you wouldn't do that if someone splattered
of course
blood on
not.
you.
I mean,
we've had blood splattered on us
Of course,
numerous
yeah.
occasions, but if I was on that plane and it was splattered with blood, I wouldn't be happy.
hopefully none of this blood splattered into areas where it can be most infectious, into the eyes, for instance. And we hope that everyone is okay. But it highlights more and more stories on airplanes where people are just so self-focused.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being so self-focused that you just rip off, you know, and it's, you know, sitting here popping a like.
I mean,
Time for a pedicure.
I mean, I know you can't go on an airplane barefoot.
Correct.
But
yeah.
See, that like
remove
skeeves
this.
me out.
Over here right now.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
what
Are you
is
gonna
it-
kick me off the
I mean,
plane?
that's pretty gross. And what's the difference between that and wearing flip-flops? There's not a big difference.
It's true, and you can transfer fungus
And then they
or
put their
bacteria
feet up.
to
They
the
put their feet up
seats,
on the
and
bulkhead.
so-
I mean,
You want to know the
And-
reason
but-
not to wear
but here's-
flip-flops is because when you have to walk through the TSA security checkpoint, if you're barefoot, I'm telling you, the fungus is among us. So, you know, I always wear socks. I have never not worn socks at the airport.
But here's the thing, when you're on a plane, you're captive, right? So it's one thing if we get spattered in the office, right? We're gonna rinse it off with water. We're
Sure.
gonna make sure it doesn't go into our eyes, our nose, our mouth, where it's really dangerous anyway, and you at least have the opportunity to rinse it. These are people who are just stuck there. I mean, you're not going to do an adequate job rinsing this off
was
in the
this at the
bathroom.
beginning or the end of the flight?
It seems like they were deplaning at the very end. I know that the video was taken by a South Florida talk
Well, and that was
show
taken
host,
at the end. So
yeah.
I'm not exactly sure when it happened, but obviously the takeaway here is if you're the person popping bloody blisters, please don't. You know, just don't do that. Number 2, if you ever are sprayed and it's a bloody substance or any substance that could transmit diseases and you're worried, you should go get checked out. And that's what they did here, because if there's a risk of you catching HIV, hepatitis, you know, they will run certain labs and watch your biomarkers and also maybe sometimes test the subject. In this case, they may have tested this woman and seen was she a carrier of an infectious disease. Now, American Airlines does state to dress appropriately on a flight. Delta states they will remove, Drew, to your point, a barefoot passenger.
Yeah.